AskPB, a newer series to decode all things insurance. AskPB is a platform where you can ask anything about insurance and our domain expert will answer your queries. Do check out the link in the description box and shoot your queries there. Now, coming back to today's session, we'll be hosting this every Friday at 4 p.m. to break down essential insurance concepts for you. Today, we have Siddharth Singhal, our business head for health insurance at Policybazaar. Welcome, Siddharth.
Thank you, Simran. How are you?
I'm good. So today, Siddharth is going to, talk about things you should keep in mind while looking for a health insurance plan. Over to you, Siddharth.
Okay, so I think health insurance is a very important subject, and health insurance is one product which customers should definitely buy when they are young, fit, and fine, and as early as possible. Because last 2 years, especially COVID times, have taught us that the health insurance or the medical bills can go through the roof. We have seen cases where simple hospitalization could also cost up to 15-20 lakhs, and in cases of grave diseases, these bills can go up to 30, 40, 50 lakhs or even more. So I think health insurance is a very important tool for a person or for a family to ensure their financial well-being. They are adequately covered against any kind of untoward incident, any kind of unforeseen medical emergency. So I think it's very important to have a health insurance, and also very important to understand what are the right parameters to look at while you're purchasing a health insurance plan. So just to add on to that, there are a couple of things one must definitely look at. One is to look at the claim settlement ratio, because health insurance is nothing but a promise between a health insurance company and the customer that should there be a claim, then the health insurance company would be there to pay the claim. So I think it's very important to look at the claim settlement ratio, the history of the company. The second thing is to ensure that you have the right coverage, which is maybe a 2 lakh health insurance plan may not be sufficient if you're living in a city like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore. So what we recommend is to people is to go for higher coverages, at least 10 lakh sum insured per member. Is the something that we definitely recommend to the customers to go for. So I think these 2-3 things, plus depending on your life stage, if you're a senior citizen, you can there are plans which are tailor made as per your requirement. Similarly, if there are you are a young customer, you are less than 35 years of age, or maybe you are two adults expecting a expecting or planning a child, then you can look for maternity. So I think depending on the life stages also, you can look for a health insurance as per your policy. Over to you, Simran. So, okay, I think there are other things that I would also definitely want to talk about. While you're purchasing or planning to purchase a health
Thank you for
insurance
such
plan.
a detailed explanation, Siddharth. We have a lot of questions coming in now, so let's have a look at them.
Sure.
So, what are the most important factors to consider when choosing a health insurance plan?
Okay. See, like I was talking about, Simran, there are a couple of factors which a person should definitely look at while purchasing a health insurance plan. One is to look at the claim settlement ratio, the claim paying history of the insurance company, because at the end of the day, what a customer expects, and rightly so, is that should there be a claim, the health insurance company is there to pay the claim and in time and in full. So I think it's very important for the customer to understand the claim settlement ratio of the different companies. The second is to go for a higher coverage. If you are somebody living in a metro city, you're a self, or plus you have a spouse and plus two kids, then having just a 5 lakh sum insured may not be enough, because one hospitalization can easily go beyond 5 lakhs. So in that scenario, then person should look for at least 10 lakh sum insured per member. So I think these are the two major things. The third is people should definitely look at is, the plan should not have any kind of co-payment or any kind of sublimits or any kind of room rent capping. Basically, one should look at a plan which kind of allows them to avail the best treatment available anywhere, be it, a regular hospital or be it a, private hospital, example Max, Fortis, etc. So, your health insurance plan should actually enable you to get the treatment of any, the best quality anywhere, across the country or even across the globe. So, I think these are the couple of factors which one must definitely look at while purchasing health insurance plan.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Siddharth. Now, somebody is asking, how do my pre existing conditions affect my ability to obtain health insurance coverage? And what are the options if I have a pre existing disease?
Okay, so I think it's a very important question because what we know about India is a lot of people who are suffering from hypertension, diabetes already, and and before taking a plan, so these are counted as a pre-existing disease, which means that any disease that you might have before the purchase of the policy, what health insurance companies do is put a waiting period to the to that particular disease. For example, if I am suffering from diabetes today and if I purchase a health insurance plan, then any claim related to diabetes condition of mine would be covered after, let's say, 3 years or 4 years after serving in the policy. So basically, good thing is now a lot of health insurance companies have opened up about accepting customers with the pre-existing disease with a waiting period. So if I have a thyroid or a hypertension or a diabetes or any other kind of angioplasty earlier or any kind of heart ailments, so I can purchase a health insurance policy of my choice. A lot of health insurance companies also offer the option of day one coverage. What it means is, certain conditions, example hypertension or diabetes, could be covered from the day one itself if I pay certain, slightly more premium to my health insurance policy. So I think the good thing is, what we are seeing is a lot of health insurance plans are now becoming very modular, very customer centric, so that if I am a customer of a particular type, the I can basically customize the plan as per my need, and I actually pay the premium for the services I want to avail or for the benefits I want to avail.
Okay, thank you, Siddharth. So now Rahul is asking, how do I know if a health insurance plan covers the medications or treatments I need, and what should I do if my plan doesn't cover them?
Okay, so I think that's an important question. While you're purchasing a health insurance policy, it's very important to understand what is included in the health insurance policy and what is not included in the health insurance policy. See, any regular health insurance policy would cover, hospitalization expenses. For example, I need, 24 hours of hospitalization, and I have to get admitted into a hospital. So expenses related to that hospitalization are covered. It could be any kind of treatment. Let's say if I'm going for a cancer treatment, or I met with an accident, or I'm going for a certain type of surgery, so those are covered under a health insurance policy. Obviously, if, like I said earlier, if certain diseases or conditions are already were present, so those will be covered after serving the waiting period. Otherwise, in a regular scenario, these expenses are covered. Plus, what a health insurance policy also covers is a what we call as pre-hospitalization and post-hospitalization expenses. For example, if I get, let's say, X disease, angioplasty, for example, if I go through a angioplasty, then I might, after the surgery is done, I might still need to go to the doctor for a regular follow-up or the regular medications, for in certain cases might need to get readmitted also to the hospital. So through the pre and post hospitalization expenses also, the health insurance plans cover those expenses. Thirdly, we are a nation where about 50% or more than 50% of our expenses are done through out-of-pocket expenses, and a large part of it is done on the OPD expenses, where I don't need to get admitted into the hospital, but still, I might, for a regular checkup, or I might get a dengue or a malaria or a let's say any other kind of a disease, and I might need to go to the doctor. I don't need a hospitalization. I need to go to the doctor. I need to buy medicines. Might need to go through the diagnostic test. So a lot of health insurance companies have now come up with OPD covers, which could be, several, I would say, range between 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 rupees, but they cover a significant portion of such expenses, which otherwise I was paying out of my pocket. So I think it's a very welcome scenario, wherein customers now have a lot of choice to opt for, while they're purchasing the health insurance plan.
Okay. So Arun Kumari is asking health insurance में waiting period क्या होता है?
ओके, सो ये बहुत ही अच्छा सवाल है। बेसिकली हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस में हम कहते हैं तीन तरह के वेटिंग पीरियड होते हैं। सबसे पहला होता है कि 30 डेज का वेटिंग पीरियड, जिसको कहते हैं इनिशियल वेटिंग पीरियड। इसका मतलब ये होता है कि आप जब पॉलिसी लेते हैं उसके 30 डेज तक आप कोई एक्सपेंसेस क्लेम नहीं कर सकते, कोई हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन क्लेम नहीं कर सकते, एक्सेप्ट अगर क्लेम कोई एक्सीडेंट से रिलेटेड हो। सो अगर मैं मान लीजिए आज पॉलिसी लेता हूँ और 30 डेज के बाद ही मैं कोई हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन का क्लेम फाइल कर सकता हूँ, एक्सेप्ट अगर वो कोई अगर एक्सीडेंट का केस हो, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज फर्स्ट एज इनिशियल वेटिंग पीरियड। दूसरा होता है किसे कहते हैं नेम्ड इलनेस वेटिंग पीरियड, कुछ कहते हैं स्लो ग्रोइंग वेटिंग डिजीजेज वेटिंग पीरियड, जो जनरली 2 साल का होता है। इसमें मान लीजिए हर्निया, कैटरैक्ट एक्सेट्रा जैसी बीमारी होती है, कुछ एक नेम्ड इलनेसेस होती हैं जो हर इंश्योरेंस कंपनी बताती है कि ये बेसिकली स्लो ग्रोइंग डिजीजेज होती हैं, जो कि 2 साल के वेटिंग पीरियड सर्व होने के बाद ही कवर होती हैं, राइट? So that's called as slow growing diseases waiting period और named illnesses waiting period. तीसरी चीज जो फाइनली चीज होती है जिसको कहते हैं प्री एग्जिस्टिंग डिजीज वेटिंग पीरियड। तो जैसे कि मैंने बताया कि अगर मैं पॉलिसी लेने से पहले ऑलरेडी किसी बीमारी से ग्रस्त हूँ, या तो मुझे मान लीजिए हाइपरटेंशन था, या मुझे डायबिटीज़ थी, या मुझे कोई मतलब कोई और बीमारी रही, तो जब मैं पॉलिसी ले रहा हूँ तो उस बीमारी से रिलेटेड क्लेम मैं 4 साल के बाद ही ले सकता हूँ या 3 साल के बाद ले सकता हूँ, डिपेंडिंग ऑन प्लान टू प्लान एंड इंश्योरेंस कंपनी टू इंश्योरेंस कंपनी। सो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कस्टमर के लिए ये समझना कि ये वेटिंग पीरियड्स क्या हैं और क्या क्या उनमें कवर्ड है और क्या उनमें कवर्ड नहीं।
Yeah. Thank you, Siddharth. Saket is asking, I have corporate health insurance. Why should I buy individual health insurance?
Okay, so Saket, I think this is a very important question and a very important topic that you've raised. See, corporate health insurance is a cover which has a limited time period. When I say limited time period, I mean it ends as soon as your employment ends with the health insurance, so or your employer, sorry. So, if let's say I am working with Policybazaar today, right? I have a health insurance of X amount from the company. If tomorrow I decide to move on to another company, or if there is any kind of a layoff, or if I want to start up, right? If there's anything, so but my health insurance cover would end the day my employment ends, right? So it's very important and to understand and always have a backup health insurance or a personal health insurance, and there are a couple of reasons why. One, it gives you a a stability and predictability that you always have a health insurance to cover you at any kind of in any kind of scenario. That is one. The second is most of the health insurance plans or most of the health insurance policy or corporate health insurance policies are only of 2 lakh rupees, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, or maybe 3 lakhs, right? Which is grossly inadequate in the times we live in, because the medical inflation is very high. A week in a hospital could cost anywhere between 3, 4, 5 lakhs, or even higher, depending on the condition or depending on the history of the patient. So that is one very inadequate. Thirdly, what I also believe is health insurance is a product that you must buy when you are fit and fine, and you must buy it as soon as possible, because when you are fit and fine you have all the options which are available to you, that you can choose any plan. It could be a lower price plan, it could be a higher price plan, it could be a feature rich plan, it could be anything. But the moment we start getting the diseases in our body, then the choices become slightly restricted. So one should not definitely wait for a health insurance plan to be purchased in the later years, when I might already be suffering from a disease, where there could be scenario, we are seeing, heart attacks coming in at a very early age now. We have seen, a couple of celebrities also, kind of suffering from that. So I think it's very important that to cover yourself adequately, it's a very small, kind of a, I would say, a price to pay to have a large coverage and to always have your back, so that in any kind of scenario you're always covered.
Okay. So Priya is asking, I have purchased a health insurance plan for my parents with sum assured 5 lakh rupees. Is that enough?
Okay. So again, like I said, 5 lakh rupees sum insured, and if it's specifically bought for parents, may not be enough. Given that any kind of a hospitalization, and especially what we have seen is any kind of angioplasty, or if there's a diabetes treatment, or there could be cancer treatment. I'm just obviously we have to prepare for the any kind of eventuality. So if you're living in a city like Delhi, Mumbai, or Bangalore, where the medical expenses are quite high, so 5 may not be enough. What we recommend to our viewers and our customers is, you can actually either on your renewal enhance your sum insured, or you can purchase a super top up plan, which does not cost a much. But in case there are expenses or a medical bill which is beyond 5 lakh, that super top up comes to your rescue, and you can actually use that to pay the hospital bills. So I think it's very important to adequately cover yourself, at least like I said, at least 10 lakh per insured member is something that one should definitely look at.
Okay. Prashant is asking, can I claim for dental treatment if I have a health insurance plan?
So most of the health insurance companies do not cover dental treatment as of now. But yes, you can cover OPD related expenses as such. But dental treatment, there are not many options. As of
Okay. अनु इज आस्किंग, मेरे हस्बैंड का नी रिप्लेसमेंट अभी अभी हुआ है, तो आफ्टर एक्सीडेंट क्या हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस लेना सही रहेगा? अगर हाँ तो कितने टाइम बाद हम इसका सर्जरी करा सकते हैं?
ओके, सी जैसे मैंने कहा कि अगर जैसे आपके हस्बैंड का नी रिप्लेसमेंट अगर ऑलरेडी हुआ है, विच इज़ ऑलरेडी अ प्री एग्जिस्टिंग कंडीशन, तो आप हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हैं। अगेन इससे रिलेटेड जो भी एक्सपेंसेस होगा वो प्री एग्जिस्टिंग डिजीज़ में होगा, तो इसके लिए आप या तो फॉर एग्जांपल 3 साल या 4 साल के बाद ही वो प्री एग्जिस्टिंग कंडीशन कवर होगा। अगर आप चाहते हैं कि वो जल्दी कवर हो, तो कुछ इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज प्लान ऑफर करती हैं जहाँ पे आपका प्री एग्जिस्टिंग जो वेटिंग पीरियड है वो 4 ईयर से घट के 1 ईयर भी हो सकता है। तो आई थिंक वो ऑप्शंस भी आप एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं, सो दैट आपको जो सर्जरी से रिलेटेड एक्सपेंसेस है वो मिनिमम टाइम में आपके कवर होना स्टार्ट हो जाए।
Okay. Raj is asking, if somebody has a disease from birth, will it affect the health insurance plan they get?
So yes, if there are every insurance company in their plans have certain list of conditions which are called as straight decline conditions, which are usually grave conditions. It could be genetic disorder related conditions as well. Uh, I would not say that every condition would fall into that category, but depending on the condition, you can always apply for the health insurance policy. Go through speak to the advisor. You can research well which are the options you can get basis that condition, and accordingly get a health insurance policy. So they in this scenario there could be a tele underwriting. What it means is, underwriter of the health insurance company would speak on phone with you and understand the gravity of the situation, whether it's the risk that can be covered or not covered, and accordingly issue the policy.
Okay. Akshay is asking, what is the difference if I buy health insurance at the age of 30 versus 40?
Okay. Oh, there's a great difference. If you buy a health insurance at the age of 30 versus 40, one, as you age, the premiums of the health insurance policy go up. So obviously, it's very useful to buy a health insurance policy when you're young. The second thing, and the very important thing is, see, your waiting periods in a health insurance policy start from today. So let's assume if I am 30, and if I buy a policy today, let's assume at the age of 35, 36, I get a diabetes as a condition in my body, right? And that could be possible as well, right? So since I've already served 5 6 years in my policy, then in that scenario my condition or any claim related to that condition would definitely be covered. But let's say I bought this policy at the age of 40. This condition which I got at the age of 35, 36, one, it will be counted as a pre-existing disease, first of all. Second, it will be covered only after I serve a waiting period of 3 years or 4 years, which means the condition which I got at the age of 35, 36 will be covered only once I turn 44. So during all these years, I would be, incurring the expense from my own pocket.
Yeah.
So it's very important for people to understand that, health insurance is a product that you must buy when you're fit and fine, and so that you have all the options, right? Third, a lot of health insurance companies also encourage people, young customers, to purchase a health insurance policy, and they encourage in the form of discounts, right? Health insurance companies offer early bird discounts if you are less than particular age, example less than 35 years or less than 40 years. They give you extra discount in the premium. That's obviously a win-win situation for the customer and the insurance company. Plus, at the age of 30, you're also likely to be, to be fit, and you would be engaged in a lot of fitness activities. You would be going to gym or running, etc. A lot of health insurance companies have built in wellness into their products. What it means is that if you go to gym regularly, if you walk 10,000 steps daily, you can actually get all the premium refunded back from the renewal itself. So what it means is, let's say if I paid 100 rupees today, and on the renewal I was supposed to pay another 100 rupees, so I can get that discount, up to 100 rupees altogether. So practically from the second renewal, my policy can become free or can cost very less also. So I think it's a very win-win situation for both the health insurance companies and the customers as well.
Yeah. चंदन इज आस्किंग इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी पोर्ट करते हैं तो कंडीशन क्या होता है?
ओके, सी, इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी जब आप पोर्ट करते हैं चंदन, तो ये बिल्कुल वैसा रहता है जैसे आप मोबाइल नंबर पोर्ट करते हैं। जैसे आपका मोबाइल नंबर सेम रहता है, बस ऑपरेटर बदल जाता है। मान लीजिए एयरटेल से जियो हो गया या वोडाफोन हो गया, या वाइसी वर्सा। सिमिलरली हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी में कस्टमर्स को ऑप्शन है कि अगर आपकी पॉलिसी कोई पुरानी है, या आपका प्रीमियम बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है, या फिर आपके जैसे पॉलिसी में काफ़ी तरह की कैपिंग्स है। मान लीजिए कि रूम आप सिर्फ 3,000 रुपये तक का ले सकते हो, या फिर आपका कोई सब लिमिट्स लगी हुई हैं, तो आप पॉलिसी पोर्ट कर सकते हैं नए प्लान में। वन, आपको फीचर्स ज़्यादा मिलते हैं। दूसरा, आपको हो सकता है प्रीमियम भी कंपेरेबल मिले, या हो सकता है थोड़ा सा कम भी हो जाए, हो सकता है। इसमें एक बेनिफिट जो कस्टमर का डेफिनेटली रहता है, वो ये है कि आपने जितने भी वेटिंग पीरियड ऑलरेडी सर्व किया है अपनी पुरानी पॉलिसी में, उसी वेटिंग पीरियड को आप बेसिकली नई पॉलिसी में कैरी फॉरवर्ड करते हो। तो आपको दोबारा से कोई वेटिंग पीरियड सर्व नहीं करना पड़ता। तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मैंने मान लीजिए एक पॉलिसी ली थी जिसको 2 साल 4 साल का वेटिंग पीरियड था, मैंने 2 साल उसमें ऑलरेडी सर्व कर लिए। जब मैंने 2 साल के बाद उसको पोर्ट किया, तो अब मेरे को जो अगली पॉलिसी में सर्व करना है, वो सिर्फ 2 साल ही सर्व करना होगा, जो बैलेंस बचा है, ना कि पूरा का पूरा 4 साल। तो ये एज अ पोर्टेबिलिटी का बेनिफिट रहता है कस्टमर्स की।
ओके। जीवन इज आस्किंग कैन यू प्लीज एक्सप्लेन क्रिटिकल इलनेस प्लान?
Okay, so Jeevan, it's a important question. Basically, देखिए, what happens is, if let's say somebody gets a disease, one is the hospitalization expense. So, for example, if let's say somebody gets cancer, right? One is hospitalization expense. The person will get hospitalized, etc. And the health insurance policy will cover the hospitalization related expense. But the second thing is, the person may not be able to perform regular jobs, or may not go to office for 6, 7, 8 months or even more. So what basically critical illness plans are, that if there is a certain condition which is detected in the body, the health insurance company will pay you a lump sum amount to cover for the loss of pay. For example, if somebody, like I said, gets diagnosed with cancer, one is the chemotherapy expenses and all that will be covered by a health insurance. But since this person might not be able to go to his office, or might lose his job also if he's not going to office for 6, 7, 8 months or maybe more, then this plan will give you a lump sum amount of maybe 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs depending on the sum insured, and so that you can utilize it for your daily expenses and basically cover your loss of pay. So this is the critical illness plan.
Okay. Avnesh is asking, I want to port my policy. What documents will be required for this?
Okay, so I think one very good news is that the portability has become very seamless. A lot of insurers now provide online portability, which means that you select a plan online and you can just tick whether you want to port or not, and you just have to provide details of previous policy, from which insurer, policy number, etc., and for how long you've been serving in the policy. and you might need to give only very few details. For example, the previous year policy copies of your previous insurer, and in case you've made a claim, then you might also need to provide the details of the claim that you've incurred, like what was it about, etc. So I think in the online process, it's become very seamless, very easy for the customers to apply for portability and get the better product at maybe a similar price, or in certain cases maybe at a lower price also, so that they are very updated with the health insurance product which they have.
Okay. Mohit is asking, do health insurance plans cover the cost of gloves, cotton, injection syringes, etc.?
Okay, so I think what we have, and a lot of insurance companies have introduced, is something called as consumables rider. So any in a hospital, during a hospitalization, your room rent, your doctor fees, etc., are covered. There are few elements which were earlier not covered, which used to be actually gloves or PPE kits or any kind of other syringes, etc. So now a lot of health insurance companies have brought in a rider called as consumables rider. What it means is that if you pay, let's say, 5 to 7% extra premium of your health insurance policy, then all these expenses are also covered. So earlier they were not covered now, but you have an option to opt for this rider and cover those expenses as well.
Okay. Thank you for such a detailed explanation, Siddharth, and thank you for being here with us today. And thank you to everyone who tuned in. We hope all your queries were answered. And if not, please go to the link in the description box to ask PB and shoot your queries there. Thank you so much once again, and see you next time.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Simran.
Thanks,
Thank
Siddharth.
you.
Thanks.
Okay,
Bye.
bye bye.